the Birds, Mr. Tambourine Man on BBC Hereford and Worcester. Friday morning, July the 24th. It's about time we had a bit of a snooze, don't you think? It's been hectic this morning. Hectic. We need to slow down a little bit. OK, here we go. Yeah, that's better. Oh, no, snoring. Really? What's that? Does he snore? Does she snore? Like sleeping next to a rhinoceros, I'll bet, isn't it? Don't worry, I have the answer. For a good night's sleep. From the makers... Thank you, off you go. From the makers of the Californian roll, that's us. We changed your life with the Californian roll, didn't we? We now bring you the Brazilian tongue. I love Brazil. The throb, the thrill. I've never been there, but one day I will. Some hope. There are gadgets you can put in your mouth. There are plasters to put over your nose. But today we've got tongue exercises developed by scientists in Brazil who claim they can reduce both the frequency and the power of snoring by 35%. Let's talk to sleep expert Susan Lee. She's on the phone. Hello, Suzanne.
Hello, Malcolm.
How are you? Good?
I'm good, well rested and feeling hunky-dory.
Do you snore?
I suppose we all do, but you know what? One thing I always say to people is it isn't the person who's snoring who has a problem. Sometimes they don't even know about it. Yeah. It's their partner, the person in the other room that suffers.
Yeah, and suffers is the right word sometimes, isn't it? It can be really bad.
And I think that's one of the things that can put a lot of pressure on the snorer, the snoree, and the relationship in as a whole, because everybody starts feeling more stressed about it, edgy, and the relationship can come under quite a lot of pressure as a consequence. So doing exercises or addressing the underlying reasons for why somebody snores is important on many levels. It lets the person who's suffering realize that the person who snores is actually trying to do something about it, and that can only be good.
Yeah. Now, we took a secret microphone into Anita's bedroom last night. You know Anita, She works on the show.
Yeah.
So we took a secret microphone into her bedroom, and this is what we discovered. Sounds like a walrus to me.
I'm surprised you're still alive, my dear.
Oh, no, I'm only teasing. But that's how bad it can be. What do you think about these Brazilian tongue exercises, Susan?
Well, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit tongue-in-cheek. They tried them with a whole 39 people. You know, they yes. published these definitive, life-changing results about things and say, if you have upper respiratory tract problems, then try these exercises. Absolutely great. They tried them in 39 people, and a third of the people had good positive results from it. So we're talking about 10 people, 12 people who had a change. For me, I think it is addressing that there are many, many reasons why people snore. And so upper respiratory tract issues are only a very small percentage of why people snore. There's lots of reasons. You know, we've got a bad cold, we've got a stuffy sinus thing going on. As I've mentioned already, we're stressed, we're sleeping in a funny position, we've had a lot to drink, or we've eaten a fatty, heavy diet, we're overweight, we're not exercising. The list goes on.
Do you only snore when you're laying on your back?
I think some people snore more when they're laying on the back, and so one of the things is to try, you know, they talk about this tennis ball thing that's been around for ages, where you try and put it onto your back and it forces you to sleep on your side. So that, you know, it's addressing the reasons. So maybe, you know, committing to wind down a bit before you go to bed, making sure your bedroom's not too dry, not too hot. It's an oasis. It's a calm place rather than a cluttered dumping ground for all your rubbish. You know, that you think about your medication, you look at any medical conditions you might have that might be actually impacting on your ability to sleep. There's lots of reasons why people snore, you know, and often we all do at different times in our lives.
We're going to try a couple of these because you never know, they might work. There are six of them. Some of them are easy, like alternate chewing on either side when you eat.
Yeah.
That's simple.
Yeah.
You can just chew on the other side.
You have to think about it, but yes.
Well, you do. You're right. You do have to think about it. But we can all do that. Or putting your finger in your mouth on each side and pressing outwards. Well, we can all do that. What about this one, though, together? Pushing. Now, we can all do this at home. Are you ready to do the Brazilian tongue with me? Sounds like a dance, maybe.
Sounds quite cosy, doesn't
I'll
it?
stick with dance, yes. Here it is. You push the tip of the tongue against the roof of your mouth and then slide it backwards. So tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth and slide backwards. How was that for you, Susan?
That's fine. Yeah,
It's easy, isn't it?
absolutely.
And repeat. Tip of the tongue against the roof of the mouth and slide backwards. Good.
Exciting.
I don't know if it's going to work, this, but it's worth doing. We'll do one more. Suck the tongue upward against the roof of the mouth and keep it stuck to the roof of the mouth for 5. Here we go. There you go.
Some of these you have to do for about 3 minutes, each
do you?
day.
Oh, 3 minutes
And
each day.
there's other things like saying the vowels A, E, I, O, U
Yes.
out loud for 3 minutes a few times a day. So if you're travelling in the car, you see, this is all about exercising your mouth, your tongue, your, as I say, your upper respiratory tract, all those things that, they're quite good. And you can do them if you're travelling in your car or something like that.
Saying A-E-I-O-U for 3 minutes.
Out loud for 3 minutes a few times a day.
I'm
There's
not
exercises
sure.
been around for quite a time that try to help people, sort this out. But as I say, there are other things like looking at your diet, like looking at your exercise regime, looking at how clear your sinuses are, breathing properly. Things like this will all help you, checking your bedroom's not too hot, not too dry. These things are fab at helping you wind down, feel less stressed, and commit to a better night's sleep, and your partner too.
Wonderful stuff. Thank you, Susan.
My pleasure.
Susan Lee there, our sleep expert. It's a bit of fun, the Brazilian tongue, but we don't think it's a one-size-fits-all.